Uh, cough. No, don't play the next one. Don't play the next one. That's fine. It's on a playlist. I just brought up the whole album. The album's called Birds Fly South. That was Echo Slightly. That was the only thing that changes by Echo Slightly. I don't know why I decided that Echo Slightly should be the backing music for, or rather the intro music for the Kentucky Route Zero streams, but I think I'm set on that, so it's just gonna keep happening. It's a good album. The I the the vocals are mixed a little uh, indistinctly to my taste, although I think that might be part of the artistic expression of it. Uh, just got off on a tangent. This early? You don't say. It happens. It's more likely than you think. Uh, did I do this, ladies and gentlemen? I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those who do not feel represented by an oppressive gender binary, hello and welcome. I am the Eternal September. You are whatever you say you are, for better or for worse. I was a good bot this time and made some tea or to lubricate myself. Um, uh, we're gonna be playing more Kentucky Route Zero in Act Two, and I've decided that we're gonna play the the act and the intermission and then stop. Um, the way that the game is structured, that's probably around about the time of a stream. Uh, but if I go a little bit over or a little bit under, I'm not going to worry about that time wise, because I think that break, that inbuilt game break is a more interesting way to divide the streams up than just sort of going until I go and then saving in the middle of a scene or whatever. Is that all the introductions I want to do? It's not. I have to do the content warnings. So, hey, content warnings. Kentucky Route Zero is a game about death and debt and capitalism and alcoholism and a bunch of things. Uh, I went back and watched Tuesday's stream because of course I do. It's how you get better is by watching the things you did, recognizing what you did wrong, and trying to improve on them. Uh, but the I called the game lighthearted um, at the beginning of last stream, and while there are things about this game that are wonderful and airy and fun to be around, maybe lighthearted is not the terminology to put onto it. Um, in the same way that like Wander Song is lighthearted and contends with an amount of the same ideas that this game contends with. Uh, this game is a little more unflinching looking at the things it's looking at, which I I'm not here to say it's better or worse, but it is different and it can get brutal. Um, I don't have specific content warnings for you at the moment. I should do a better job over the weekend of sorting those out. But this game handles some rough material. Please take care of yourself. Um, that's the content warnings for the game. Uh, hey, I need a content warning so that you know what you're getting into. I'm a strange person who makes weird sex jokes or talks about their trauma sometimes. That's just that's just what it is. I'll do my best to warn you specifically if I'm about to do either of those things, but I can't promise. Um, And so we move on. Kentucky, we're at 0. I just hit the button. We got Koro Sensei there for just a second. I should go back and rewatch Assassination Classroom. My memory is that it was really good, but it's also been like 2 years since I've seen it. Not 2 years, a year and a half? Something like that. Kentucky, Route 0. And we are... Where are you? Okay, there we are. We are continuing with Act 2. We open on a woman I suppose not. We open on a person in an orange suit jacket, blue tie, and white shirt with gray hair and glasses. They are sitting at a desk, idly tapping the papers in front of them. Presumably, the paper in front of them is this letter we are about to read. Attention, Lula Chamberlain. Your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. Lula Chamberlain, we've heard that name before. The intermission we played on Tuesday was a bunch of her art installations. Presumably, this is her. I'm going to start that line again from the top. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obit civet, which I presume is your obedient servant, Robert. Lula throws the letter in the waste basket, or Lula folds the letter up and puts it in her handbag. I think puts it in handbag. Lula opens a folder on her desk labeled proposals, or Lula opens a folder of writing paper on her desk. Proposals. Lula sorts through documents, all printed on a fading letterhead reading Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Proposal 1. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Proposal 2. Site, distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. Proposal 3. Site, basketball court. Proposed use, kennel. Let us review. I wonder if we're going to get to review all three or if just one. I don't see the immediate distinction between a hospital and auto dealership, so let's look at that. Proposal number 1. Hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Auto dealership sanitation requirements comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Lula stamps the proposal endorsed or opposed. Endorsed. Proposal 2. Site distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. Distillery still active, but scaling down operation to less than half of site. Distillery built on top of graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery graveyard could share resources. Chapel, once repurposed into bottling factory, could be repurposed into chapel. I'm sitting here wondering why, what, which resources could be shared between a distillery and a graveyard. I guess, like, the undrinkable high proof alcohol that you start with before you distill it? No, that's not how distilling works. That's the other way around. Um, I was about to say you can use alcohol to embalm something. So maybe that. There's already a chapel on site. Opposed. Oh, we didn't get to see the third one. So presumably this is Lula. The camera pulls out to show a much broader view of her office where some other people are at other desks, presumably poring over the same or similar proposals. Rick, uh, a balding person in a shirt and tie, stands there and clears his throat. Busy? It's not important. Buried. How are you? How are you, Rick? I shouldn't complain, so, um, did you get my note? About the office party, I'm going stag, or about the proposals, I've just finished them. About the proposals, I've just finished them. Oh, great, okay. I'll tell Diane. I think she was waiting on, I don't know. So, how did your application go? I was in the mailroom. I saw you got a letter back. Sorry, I don't mean to pry. I just saw. It's fine, Rick. I'm not going anywhere. How's your goldfish? Act 2, Scene 1. So presumably that was the prologue. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Uh, Conway, Shannon, and Blue stand in front of the truck, which is in front of a large brick building. There is a barrier over here, or something that looks like it's made up of road sign barriers with the long yellow and white stripes, except it's not that. It looks like a A with a cross at the top of it. End of the line. Seems that way, or maybe it's still under construction. Maybe it's still under construction. Well, work seems to stop for the moment. Can we walk further over to the left? Past the barrier? We can. Where there is a desk with a bell. I want to talk to Shannon and Blue before we move over into what is apparently the meat of the building. There's also a fishing line over there that I kind of want to look at. Didn't we just pass this place? I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So, what is this place? Looks like an office building, looks like a cathedral. What do you think? It looks like an office building. Yeah, an office building and a cathedral. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Conway can answer inside, outside, or both. It does kind of look like both is the thing. Ha. Okay, very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. Let's speak to Blue. Get a good rest in the truck? Yeah, I know you love a drive. I do too, usually. Conway is still limping from the mining accident earlier and is clutching at his leg as he walks. So there is definitely a fishing line over here, but we can't do anything with it, which I find saddening. There's stairs leading down to presumably another floor, but I can't get that way either. So let's go tap the bell. Bing. A receptionist has come to meet us. Mary Ann. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Conway or Shannon? Conway says we're actually a bit lost. Shannon asks, want to settle a bet. Let's let Shannon get a word in. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you be both inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing, or are you just lost? Conway, we're just lost. You're lost. So you're not the, sorry, honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. I saw your truck, and I thought, but you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. What are you celebrating? Asked Conway. Or what do the boys from the distillery look like? Or what is this place? Let's get the foundation under us. What is this place? Well, it's clear you're new to the territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. We're looking for Dogwood Drive. You know where that is? Dogwood. No. You're gonna need to talk to someone upstairs about that, one of the map clerks. But first, we got to get you in the system, so you need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now, let's see. Rick's booked proofreading drafts all afternoon. Wanda's out on site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area. Just take a look around. You seen our grotesques? So set into the back wall of the brick wall, back wall of the area were a bunch of things that I thought were boxes, but they've turned on now and are clearly TVs. Let's have a look at them. The television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm but precariously fragile. This television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape that must once have belonged to a different crab. Marianne's back and we can talk with her again, but let's have that look around. There are indeed books in the waiting room, which is decorated in a very kind of 1950s style. I don't know what you call chairs like this. They're like one piece of molded plastic. 3 books are piled up on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. We could pick up the envelope or we can leave the books. Let's go ahead and be nosy. Fuck it. When are we going to be back here again? The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small, handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. There's the elevator. There doesn't seem to be anything else to poke at, so let's go talk to Marianne again. Actually, are there more TVs over to the right that we can shake a stick at, or... Oh, yep, one more. Oh, 2 more. Possibly 3 more, depends on how far over we can go. This television is playing an instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, the passenger's sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passenger should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. This is the mark of successful elevator design. This television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. A microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dimmed. The speakers hum impatiently. I like the way that the static noise gets louder whenever we're actively focusing on the TVs in the back. Oh, good. Tasha left. People can get so impatient. You never know. Well, I don't... I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor reviewing some diagrams. The elevator's just back to the left there. 5th floor. She's on the 5th floor, right? Conway scans a column of elevator buttons. Uh, Fifth floor, diagrams and drafts. Fourth floor, archives and records. Third floor, bears. Second floor, conference room. First floor, clerk's offices. I mean, let's just go up one by one and see what we can get into. Here on the first floor, Rick from earlier asks us, "Hello, you lost?" Uh, Very much so, yes.
Okay, well, let's get you pointed in the right direction then. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned to talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help.
Let's go ahead and talk to Clerk Metzstein then. I feel like I didn't do any of this last time. I feel like I was conscientious and just went straight up to the person I was supposed to see and didn't fuck around. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Conway, ingestion card? I don't think I've had 5 permanent addresses. Or Shannon. Let's just skip it. Which one of you is Lula Chamberlain? Uh, Ingestion card? Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk with Clerk Blom first. He'll get you set up with one. Clerk Blom is just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Howdy, here for an ingestion card. No problem. Rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them.
It looks like I'm out, but I know there's some back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request to Clerk McMillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of the office there, by the file cabinets.
Okay. Shannon is getting, I'm not reading her dialogue option. She is getting increasingly impatient. Documents request. 1 ingestion card, please. Happy to help. Please just put your requisition form in the inbox and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Requisition form? Yes, you don't have one. It shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein and she'll get you sorted. I feel slightly bad for walking Conway around this much. Requisition form, no problem. I'll just need your ingestion card to mark it outgoing in my logbook. I don't have an ingestion card yet. Oh, no ingestion card. That's okay. Just talk with Clerk Baum first and I'll get you set up with one. Clerk Baum's just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Let's just get back on the elevator. Up on our way to the second floor. Which looks like a break room. There are some people seated around a large table, or I guess it's more of a meeting room. Some people seated around a table. There's a projection screen in the back. No one particularly wishes to speak to us here. So I can see the third floor because of the way that the tiers of this office are. And indeed, the third floor is full of bears. So Let's go see what happens if we go to the bear floor. We simply walk out amongst the bears. The bear's also not interested in speaking to us. That's a little more, understandable because they're bears. We're interrupting their bear business or bearsness. Fourth floor, archives and records, which appears to be full of just chock full of those filing cabinets that look like big shoe boxes. They're not cabinets, I guess, they're just boxes. We cannot get into any of these, it doesn't look like. They're not ours, so I guess that makes sense. Shannon and Conway both have, I think, pretty developed senses of propriety, so maybe you just don't go rifling through other people's stuff. And we've come all this way. Let's check out the fifth floor. Two, why not? There is one person working on the fifth floor in a large office with a apparently skipping record player on a small bookshelf. We can speak to this clerk. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Sorry, we're looking for an ingestion clerk. Oh, no, I'm an interior spatial analyst. I can't help you with that. I think the ingestion clerks have all gone home for the night. Lula might be able to help you. She's pretty senior. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now, on the first floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which, we can stop the record player skipping gratefully. Although, I don't know, maybe Greg needed that 8-second loop to focus. Maybe that was bad of us to do. We'll go back down to the first floor and not figure out which one's Lula, because we've seen Lula and know what she looks like. She's the one in the orange coat in the middle. Who are we talking to? Baum? Clerk Baum. It's an O with an umlaut. I don't know how to pronounce that. Clerk Baum. Howdy. Here for an ingestion card? No problem. He rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. It looks like I'm out, but I know there are some in the back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request with Clerk McMillan. She's the document czar. Straight back at the end of this office there by the file cabinets, we will finally let Shannon break loose. This is just a runaround. Where's Lula Chamberlain? Oh, no, that's her right there in the cardigan. Paperclip Labyrinth. We got an achievement. Paperclip Labyrinth. Follow the bureaucratic loop in the bureau 3 times. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth. Well, you made it, eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. I'm fine, arthritis. The receptionist said you could point us in the right direction. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive, or we're having trouble navigating the 0. We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive? Now that's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? That was years ago. A grimy old house, basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the 0? A gas station attendant told us we need to take the 0 to get there, or Shannon saying, my cousin Weaver sent us this way. My cousin Weaver sent us this way. Your cousin Weaver? Weaver Marquez? I hadn't expected to hear from her again. What does that mean? We used to exchange short emails, just these terse descriptions of things we saw throughout the day. It was sort of a joke between us, but they stopped. I assumed she'd found something better to do with her time. I hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly. I recommended she go see some old friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture. I often worry she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type, gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is. I guess she sent you here because she respected me. Thought I could help. Weaver's a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. Conway asking, where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. Or Shannon saying, get over yourself. I kind of want to let Shannon go off. Get over yourself. Lula pauses, taken aback. Well, I guess that's fair. All right, maybe I can help you. For Weaver. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error, name collisions, they call them. So my dogwood drive is pale dogwood drive, and another might be large leaf dogwood drive or Himalayan flowering dogwood drive, and so on. But one of them is still just dogwood drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be in archives and records on the 4th floor. It'll be filed under O for odonyms, probably, or G for generic, and maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. It's clever and delicious. It's cleverlicious. Let's head up to the archive room. Archive and records, 4th floor. Let us look at documents. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess? Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. The small logbook has a smart leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Let us look at inside the front cover. Note in logbook. Document staff, please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get the new file cabinets in. We are up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc., but air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Just for the fuck of it, what's on the back cover? Failing antique shops folder missing, listed checked in on page 63 but not present. Let's look at page 1. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and backed in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Page 14. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Several, excuse me. All right, so let's look at page 63. Check-in, failing antique shops, Monday, 3 p.m. Signee Ed Bourne. Put the logbook away. Nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled. The rest are all just the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. Alright. Bing bong. Head back down to the clerk's office. Take just a moment to enjoy this snappy number that's playing in the elevator. Can we go talk to Ed about that thing he checked out? No. Cannot. So let's talk to Lula again. Nothing. That's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. There was a cathedral. This was a cathedral not so long ago. Can you believe it? And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect, at the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His home office is a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. Well, all other avenues being exhausted, it's back on the road. Back down to the lobby. And after 2 p.m. you have to leave the lobby. Can we talk to Mary Ann on our way out? I mean, we can. Get what you need? Conway's asking the direct question. Lula said you could direct us to the church, but I want to go with Shannon. Hey, be straight with me. What is this place? It's just another office, lady. It's just another job. But you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? No, I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the zero and drive until you hit the crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Okay. We cannot update Blue on the status of the building. I presume that Blue would not have a lot of interest in hearing about the office environment. They are ready to leave. Right. So, you remember before where we were a little circular thing going across a road map of Kentucky? So we're the little circular thing again. That is what our car looks like in abstract. But the landscape is also a lot more abstract. The road is flat in front of us. We are standing in front of a pile of flattened squares that represents the Bureau. And behind us is a absolute I don't know what to call this. Is it a spectrograph? Kind of. It looks like, no, not a spectrograph. What's the fucking thing? It's what? There's a name for it. It looks like someone's... It looks like a sonar created interpretation of a tunnel. It's a sort of tube shape described in narrow bands of narrow topological bands. We were driving until we found the crystal, so let's keep going down this way. Well, we're at the jaws. A bunch of teeth have appeared, but that's fine. The bat wings. The cactus. What does this do? There were 3 Z's at the bottom left corner of the screen that I don't think I'd seen before, so I clicked on them. Shannon. Hey, you're looking kind of tired there, old man. You want me to take the wheel for a bit? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. there's the crystal. And that's the bureau again. Okay. So by letting Shannon take the wheel, I then emerged in an entirely different place without much knowledge of what was around me, so I just picked a direction and went. But from the bureau, we reached the jaws, and then there's the bat wings. The cactus. The lightning bolts. The sandwich, which is a brick between two slices of bread. Yes, it's a sandwich. There's bread on either side of it. The icosahedron. The cathode ray. So sometimes when we pass a, I'm going to go ahead and use the word landmark like this, although I don't think this is land in the traditional sense. We're given an option to turn around. This one has the number 4641, and I don't know if that means anything, but it's not the crystal, which is where we were meant to turn around. So let's keep going. Here's the bottle. The TV. The cenote, C-E-N-O-T-E, which sort of looks like a vertical version of the tunnel we're in. The road, by the way, I don't think I mentioned, is just sort of a loop. It's just sort of one big circle that we're going around over and over again, and the things change that we pass, like the pipe organ right there. And here's the crystal. Okay. So we turn around. And, oh, okay, this is where it stopped us when, okay, that's what the Shannon taking over the driving is for. It just takes us directly to the place we're going without having to go through the metaphysical directions. But I wanted to see that. So we're stopping at self-storage. Act 2, Scene 2. St. Thomas Church. Random access self-storage. Area C, entry below. If you've ever been inside of a multi-level self-storage facility, then that's this. It looks exactly like this. It is a series of small, it's a series of like, and shit is the word I want. The fucking, the shutters, the kind of, the kind of doors that like roll down, like on a garage. A bunch of those next to each other, denoting the various storage spaces. One of them is open and has a janitor inside, but let's talk to Shannon first. Is that it over there? I don't see any congregation. Oh, maybe it's after hours. Let's just see what the janitor knows, I guess. Indeed, let's. Brandon. Oh, here for the night mass? What kind of mass is it? Tonight it's a homily on work and need. I haven't heard this one before. Are you the preacher or where's the congregation? I think it's pretty obvious they're not the preacher. Where's the congregation? I guess this must look pretty strange, church without a congregation. But when they first moved in here, man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, two on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling. Then the preacher stopped coming in too, but he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the bureau archives, photos of people in churches, so I keep it running. You do what you have to, right? We've all got a job, or right now we have to find some bureau documents. Right now we have to find some bureau documents. Oh, you're from the bureau. I moved all those documents to unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building. Same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of... Oh, sorry, that's Shannon. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I better get this running. Brandon presses play on an old tape machine as Shannon walks into the distance. Conway listens to the homily or asks Brandon if his whole family is Catholic. I think Conway's shown that he's someone who's interested in people. Let's go with this. Your whole family Catholic? Oh, no, we're not religious. I just watched and listened while the congregation did all this stuff, and I probably don't understand as much of it as you might think. Anyway, I know how to run the overhead projector and the tape player. At least I know enough to keep it going, right? How do you like working here? Oh, it's okay. I don't really get what I don't really know what else I would do. I used to play a lot of card games, back in high school. Some of my friends went to college. Most of them just got jobs. Maybe in a few years we'll be hanging out in bars playing darts or something. You're not allowed to play cards in the bar because it looks like gambling. Uh, Conway listens to the homily or my leg is killing me. Conway listens to the homily. Preacher. Beyond the church, this day is celebrated in remembrance of a violent protest in Chicago, and to honor the four martyrs who were unjustly persecuted in its wake, having not only pursued their vocation in their daily labor, but also having pursued their avocation in the form of protest, activism, community building, radicalization, scholarship, and finally martyrdom. Their and our avocation being as it should be for us all, as members of the church or otherwise, to secure for our fellow workers the right to labor with dignity. So is this like a hobby? I mean, if you asked me what my hobbies were, I'd say card games, science fiction, and perspective geometry. But I run the slideshow and I play the tapes. And I don't get paid for it. I take it pretty seriously, but no one's telling me I should. Is that a hobby? Seems like there ought to be a more serious word for it. Okay, that's it. Next, there are some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in, I don't think. I don't remember them anyway. Hey, I got it. We were just talking about work and hobbies. What? I found what I came here to get. The file on the street name changes. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out. And then maybe we should go see that doctor the clerk recommended. lights come down, and presumably it kicks us back to the 0, unless it takes us directly to... Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? My leg's stuck. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? It's fine. Just try to stand up. Careful. I'm right here. Damn. Don't worry. I got you. That leg is in bad shape. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man. Look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know. He collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. I'm okay. Can we listen to another one of those sermons? Don't let me keep you. You have work to do. Don't let me keep you. You got work to do. What the hell are you talking about? We're gonna go see that doctor the clerk recommended. She hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, you know, here and there. The Bureau's the only way I know. Some of those folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came, find the crystal, then turn around. Okay. So, back the way we came, which is counterclockwise. Here's the crystal. Stop at it long enough to hit the turnaround button. There's the pipe organ. The staircase, that one wasn't here last time. The projector. The bell. The tree. The sprockets. The anchor. The bicycle. The feather. The wheelbarrow. The antlers. The scarecrow. And back to the Bureau. So let's stop in here and, I guess, turn our findings into Lula. Act 2, Scene 3. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Hey, Marianne. How's it going? Back so soon? Can we talk to Clerk Lula Chamberlain again, or we need to get to the Interstate 65? Conway is still trying to make his delivery. Shannon is much more interested in helping Conway. We need to get the Interstate 65. Lula filed your papers, so you're in our system now. I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. We got a few more things to see down here, I'd say. So let's... I'm having trouble keeping Conway's voice right. Or not right, but consistent. There's no voice provided, so the right voice is the one I'm giving it, I suppose. Back to the first floor. Delicious tea. And Lula is not here. Or at the very least, she is not at the desk that she was at. Doesn't appear to be on floor 2 in the meeting room either. I doubt she'd be on floor 3 with the bears, so let's go up to floor 4. Not here either. Nor is she on floor 5, so I guess we cannot talk to Lula again. So let's just head back down to the lobby and get processed back out, whatever that means. Oh, don't do this to me right now. We're ready to be processed. Can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Oh, of course. This is a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. To get on 65 before going southwest, take a right just past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. And we are back out in on the actual road, not actual road map, because that's we'll call it the mundane road map. How about that? Get on the 65 going southwest. Take a right just past the observatory, northeast, southwest. Yes. Just before the river, if you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Okay. Get on 65, going southwest, past Equus Oils. Can we stop back here again? We can, but all it says is Joseph has fallen asleep in his chair. There's the observatory, presumably, in that it is a round building with stars above it. Now we head north from here to Dr. Truman's house, question mark? Yes. The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum, still partially under construction. Let's enter the museum then. Act 2, Scene 4. Museum of Dwellings. Three-quarters view showing Shannon Blue and Conway in front of a round not round, a ring of a desk with 4 chairs on the inner part of the ring, all of which are empty. Let's talk with Blue. We're not talking with Blue. So, from the way that this dialogue box is presented, I assume that this is someone watching the security footage. Thomas. Oh, yeah, he was talking to his dog. The guy was a weirdo. What did he say, or doesn't seem that weird? I mean, lots of people talk to the dogs. Doesn't seem that weird. No, you didn't see the guy. Tall, kind of stooped over, limping bad. Looked like an old drunk, if you ask me. I bet they were both drunks, breaking in here, just looking for a place to sleep it off. I just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog. I hate Thomas, by the way. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere, but that's loyalty for you. They didn't stay long anyway. Flora. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. What were you doing up that late, or what were they talking about? What were they talking about? The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around. Fred. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that? I just shut myself up in my room and waited out. No sense getting involved. How did they get in? Or they definitely work for the power company. How did they get in? Oh, it must have been one of the kids who left the front door unlocked. Something's got to be done. They run around like animals. You know that Flora left a can of soda on top of my shelter door and I almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess the next morning? Something's got to be done. We have an umbrella button. Conway opens up an umbrella above him. I'm told it's bad luck to do that indoors, so let's not. Unless we go under a place where there's rain. Oh, okay. We move up to the big double glass doors where the truck is clearly parked outside, and it is raining outside. But we don't want to go out, we want to go further in. So, let's do that. We can't go further down, so what about to the left and right? Ah, yes. The camera is turning to reveal what looks like a model house. Nope, a series of model houses. Can we get to this big one on the far left first? No, we can't. So, let's look at this pleasant little wooden split level with a brick chimney. I was playing in that empty cabin and they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell them. Did you talk about anything else? The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. This is Flora, who is presumably this young girl standing on the porch. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring, and when he came back out, he told me all about it. What did he find in the cabin? He went upstairs, and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. What did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell how it was all put together. And the cabin, too. He could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird. He said he went into the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. He said he found a staircase in the closet. He said he found a secret door in the floor. He said he dug through the ground to get there. He said he found a secret door in the floor. Then he found a rope leading down a long pit and he climbed down, or he was surrounded by giant aphids. He was surrounded by giant aphids. But the aphids were friendly and led him to a secret garden. He ran away from the aphids into a river to hide. He ran away from the aphids into a river to hide. The water swept him around until he didn't know where he was, and finally he fell asleep in the water, or he was a good swimmer, so he found his way back to the cabin. He was a good swimmer, so he found his way back to the cabin. So then he came back out of the cabin, and we said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. It is a museum of dwellings, huh? It's a bunch of houses. The large one to the left, the split level cabin. There's this sort of barn church in the background. This thing over here that looks like a train platform. And this doghouse. And that dog was nearly in bad a shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. They found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer them up a bit. Oh, not a train station, a stable. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. This is Flora again. Did the strangers go in the stable? No, they just poked around a bit and talked about barns. They were pretty boring. We ought to get some real chickens in that coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, you know what I mean? It's just a display, another kind of dwelling, or sure, we'll look into it. Sure, we'll look into it. If I remember Walker's voice, if I'd seen Walker before, I don't remember what voice I gave them. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. I was happy for the company. Couldn't sleep in a storm like that. Never could. What did you talk about? I had a bottle in my coat, and I could see the old guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. He got real awkward about it. I bet he's in a program. Anyway, they were asking about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's what I told him. There's also a bird cage that I skipped over. Let's go have a look at that. I definitely haven't seen that name before. The moment I now recall most clearly is from their short visit was the bird cage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the bird cage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone. And then they moved on. Let's let the camera turn just a little bit. Oh, you can see where the structure is still being put together over here with the forklift and incredibly orange scaffolding. Oh, we can go up this way. Do we want to go up this way? Let's see if there's anything else on the ground floor first before we go. Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I'd heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier before the storm started. This is, it's a, I'm going to say lake house, and I do mean it, but I mean a house that is meant to be on a lake. You can see the foundation with the, flotation barrels underneath them. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait and the young woman with him, and I knew it just couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What was the young woman like? She was very sharp and mechanically minded. We talked a bit about the construction of my house. She was worried for her friend. Do you know, I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. Houseboat is the word I wanted, thank you. I don't know that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It has always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like that last one. Here we have a tent. They were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Hey, if you ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. I guess they must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What folders were they looking at? Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. And they had a list of all the homes we relocated here. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of the folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back out of order. So I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down, and it seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in. I mean, that's the idea. Yeah, I get that. Just, how about that roof, huh? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords, no? There were a couple of RVs over there. I'm pretty sure if we go any further to the right at all, yeah, bring us back to the ring desk. So let's go look at those two RVs and then go up the mechanical scaffolding. Yeah, they came by and knocked on the window, and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but you know, shady characters. What did you talk about? And they were asking about Dr. Truman, and I told them what all I know about that, which is not very much. You see them poking around anywhere else? Oh, sure, they were into everything. Walking around, looking at stuff, talking to people, talking to each other. I guess that's just what it's going to be like now, living here. I heard them banging around out there and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. That one just looks like a garbage thing. Not a garbage can. A dumpster. There we go. That's the word I wanted. Head up the scaffolding. Oh, okay. I was like, why isn't anything moving? But we're waiting for Blue to get on the scaffolding with us, which is very nice. Goes up on a track into the rafters. Oh, up onto the roof. So this is where our umbrella button will come in handy. There's another house up here on the roof. God damn, what was that? There's the background is just deep shadows of more girders, honestly. But there was a massive shadow of, like, it looked like a bird carrying a thing. Oh, there you are. Yes, a really massive bird carrying some sort of spear. George. We were working in the greenhouse and I saw them come in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious, says Annie. Ivy. Oh, of course. I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building, the, sure, the rounded metal one. Yeah, that one. House of the Future sort of thing. I always thought it looked more like a grain bin. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it, tired, huddling under their umbrellas. They still stopped to examine this building. That is a boat. Hudson. Difficult to see or even hear. Sure, let's give you a pirate accent. Why not? Difficult to see or even hear a storm like that. But I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. It should even out shortly, I'd say. You talked to them? Yeah, we had a short conversation. The young woman heard the radio crackling from the cabin and asked about it. The old man was a bit disoriented. Disoriented how? He asked the most inane questions about my boat, whether I took it out fishing off and nonsense like that. I tried to explain to him that I lived aboard, that I'd lived in a small apartment on this land before, and kindly offered an opportunity to live here in a sailboat when the neighborhood was raised and so on. Difficult to communicate in a noisy storm like that. I think he may have been a bit hard of hearing to boot. Well, then they had to leave. Looking for a doctor, I think. The old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. Oh, here's the greenhouse. Laura was laying down on the lower level and having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when you came in. After all, they were strangers. You know, we didn't know them. Did they seem dangerous? No, nothing dangerous about them, but you just can't know, can you? How could you? Well, I heard the young woman ask her friend about his job. He's some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were here looking for a buyer? Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques. suppose the reason that we can see up here is because of the massive hole in the roof that James was talking about. Ezra. Oh, this one's an actual conversation. I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? It doesn't belong to me. I just drive it. Yeah, I knew you weren't a driver. I knew you were a driver. What's the biggest haul you ever did? I moved a pool table once in that same truck, or I moved a couple of horses once in a different truck. I moved a pool table once in that same truck. Me and Julian move whole houses every night. That's a lot bigger than a pool table. Sounds very impressive. Yeah, it's a big job. Me and Julian take him out to the forest every night, and then we bring him back at dawn before the museum opens. Why do you take him to the forest? I'm choosing Conway's dialogue options because I find them a little more interesting. Shannon is trying desperately to figure out where Dr. Truman is. The museum is an okay place to live there and to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep and bring them back in the morning. Your family out in the forest? Oh no, they're. I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but. Yeah, anyway, we have a job to do here now, taking these people out to the forest tonight so they can sleep. And maybe if the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and want to stay out there, we'll get back to looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? Shannon finally getting her kicks in. Oh, you have to follow the Green River way out east, and then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I just gotta call him over. Ezra yelling, "Coot, coot, 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 yeah!" This is going to summon that massive bird, isn't it? Yes. And we disappear in a flurry of umbrellas. Ooh, it's the road map above the highway again. Except this time it's from a slightly different viewpoint. The reason it's from a slightly different viewpoint is because we are not in the truck. We are being carried by Julian, presumably, a massive fucking bird. Julian is moving in a wide circle around a central point, and we can change where that central point is. And presumably we can stop in any place that is within that zone, which we'll explore more here in a moment. I'm going to go to the break real quick. Before I do that, I wish to take this opportunity to remind you, Black Lives Matter, Indigenous lives and lands matter, the lives of people of color matter. Palestinian, Ukrainian, Sudanese, Congolese lives matter. There are many ways to stand in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, and over here we like to push for direct mutual aid, as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less, and people who are suffering less can stand next to us just that little bit taller. It's the only thing that's gonna... Oh, I didn't really expect that. Sorry, got sidetracked. Standing together is the only way we win. Then we can win it a lot easier than you think. I'm going to go on my social media during the break. I'm going to hit the mutual aid hashtag there and boost whatever needs I can. I recommend that you take the opportunity to look at mutual aid initiatives that exist in places where you operate, both online and in meat space, because the only way we get out of this is through, and the only way we get through this is together. In the meantime, maybe do a stretch, or have a drink or a snack, and do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same, and I'll see you back here in. I'm not going to put a time limit on it, just a little bit. BRB. I'm just going to leave it on this. I pondered for a moment whether I should go to the random wiki article, but this is a really pretty screen, so I'm just going to leave it here for like however long I'm gone. Stand back. And I have pretzels. Because I needed a little munch. So I've been playing in Stars in Time again, and that the game is still wonderful, but playing it again has reminded me that there are games that I simply should not play on stream. It is an incredible experience if you can handle. Like I say that this game Kentucky Route Zero gets rough, and it does get rough, and it's gonna get rougher from here. Um, in Stars in Time is a wonderful experience that is full of fun characters and beautiful art and some really good jokes, and it's fucking brutal. And if you can handle that, I absolutely recommend it. I absolutely should never play it on stream because I'm pretty open with my emotions, I like to think, in areas where I feel safe. But I actually just don't want to ugly cry on stream. Uh, right. We are in the loving talons of Julian the Massive Bird. Let's try and find the forest. So that's the museum. There's a church over here. Let's have a look at the church. A country church with a pitched roof and a three-story spire. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Behind the church are several dusty metal trash cans, all closed. The flayed hull of a country home smolders in the night. Parts of the property are obscured by smoke. There's the bait shop. A large dirt parking lot surrounds the bait shop. A sign is vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar. Bright but unsteady lights throb from the windows of the shop's back room. There's the mine. From above, the huge swaying tipple, which is the name of that overhang thing. It's called a tipple. That's a thing I'm learning right now in this moment. Looks like a small wooden lattice framing the edge of the mine entrance. The roads don't go where we're going, so let's head off the map. There is a lake. A shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its limbs into a smart blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. I guess we just follow the Green River Way, like we were told. That's right? We have a thing. No, please. Okay, no. Oh, okay, this is the, there's a thing in our inventory that, that just has a bunch of words on it, and I was wondering what the fuck this is, but this is um, the turntable at the mines. It's showing the paths between the casket and pendulum, the bones in the boot, the theater, and the scarecrow. There's also, hang on. There's also that pamphlet that we picked up for the Bureau of Secret Tourism. I wish that I had seen this before we left the Zero. We can probably get back, right? The Bureau of Secret Tourism, esoteric excursions for the intrepid and curious. All directions start from the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. River tunnels. The tunnels are a series of arterials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated. Now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather, pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the feather again and turn around. The Dymaxion Gallery. A gallery of mislaid futures abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. Drive counterclockwise around toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the barn. To return to the Bureau, find the TV again and again turn around. Mineral springs. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat, youth. Oh, okay. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls, its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenated bathers. Drive clockwise to the feather. Meditation tunnels, recommended as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns slowly, like a breathing exercise. I'm not going to read the directions. I'll do them if we manage to get back down onto the Zero and can actually read some of these places. I think I might have missed the opportunity to do that, which sucks. I might go back and do that as a exercise for myself. The Deep Valley, the site of an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a causality in a battle between God and the dinosaur. There is also a telephone number on the back. 270-301-5797. Please, if that actually connects to a real telephone number, do not call it with your person's cell phone. The people who have that number would probably not be very happy about that decision. I'm going to hit print screen because I can't find my cell phone right now. There's also the die that we still have. Hey, we rolled it and came up 20. And then 19. And 18. It's just continually rolling down, huh? Nope, skip 17 to land on 16. Oh no, there's a little bit of physics to it. I can click and pull to drag in any number of ways, and then it does whatever it's doing. Oh no, we've landed on a 1. We can't leave it like that. 14, sure, right in the middle of the pack. That'll hit most things, depending on, you know, encounter levels. So we've gone all the way up Green River and we didn't find the forest. I must have missed the thing. So we'll go back. Flap over to the other Green River. Over here. Or this massive lake, rather. Lake Cumberland. There's a swamp. From a distance, from the air, it first looks like a swamp. Vines have grown over the street lamps. Flower bushes obscure the streets. A few of the houses have slipped partially into the ground, foundations cracked by underground roots. Where we're going is almost certainly that patch of sticky uppies we can see over here, right? Yep, forest. And we land. Act 2, Scene 5. A forest. Oh, okay. We are controlling Ezra, the small child that we met at the museum. And Blue's kind of walking around behind us. There are many trees in the foreign background. Ezra is sort of walking in the middle plane. Oh, there's a really good shot of, what was your name? Started with a J. It's been like 20 minutes and I've completely forgotten. It's okay. Just take it easy. I'll just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute, and then we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? My last delivery. Oh, you're retiring or something? Or sorry. Lisette's closing up the shop. That's, damn. Julian, that's the name of the, apparently Eagle, is Julian. Or at the very least, they look like, I think a bald eagle looks. I'm not an ornithologist. I'm sick and lonesome and I'm feeling kind of... Ah, Ezra is asking questions of Shannon now. How'd you come to be with these people? I bet you're pretty wild when you were younger. When I'm old like you, I'd still be wild. Does not stop and wait for responses. Our bluegrass chorus is back, by the way, in the foreground. Past a man standing outside of the house. Oh, right. That's the thing we knew. These are all of the houses from the museum exhibit. This is what Ezra and Julian do. They take the houses from the one and take them to the other. Conway and Shannon are outside of the cabin now. It shouldn't be much farther now. I think I see where the settlement ends over there. These woods go on forever. Well, no forest goes on forever. At some point, there's always a road or something. Parking lot. Just don't act so defeated, okay? I just need to rest. We're almost there. Dr. Truman will have a nice couch or something you can rest on, and some medicine or something. I don't know. Oh, Ezra's not talking to Shannon. Ezra was talking to Blue. Okay, that makes more sense. You ever been over to the lake? I went there once with my folks. We had some burgers. It was pretty great. Oh, that's really good. The, how do I describe this? There's big trees that pass by in the foreground sometimes that blot out like big sections of the screen. And as it does that, it is a trigger to load or unload different parts of the houses. It gives the whole thing a sort of jumbled, thing. Like here we're clearly walking between, like the RV is in this area, but there's a space in the middle of it where Ezra's just standing, where the RV doesn't exist anymore, between two trees. It's like slicing up and rearranging the landscape. Do you have any family you're close with? Brother, sister, kids? Just last set's family, I guess. Yeah? Husband? Bunch of kids? Her husband and I were friends. Oh yeah, you mentioned him. Your old boss? Fierce-tempered, hard-working, up by his bootstraps kind of guy, right? Sounds pretty intense. I guess I was closest with Weaver. Closest as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess it just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. Sorry. You're a good listener. I bet you come from a big family of dogs. I have a pretty good-sized family too, I guess. But right now, all I need is Julian.
Got to go home, boys, got to go home. It's dark and raining and I've got to go.
He's inside. He's inside with Dr. Truman. You coming in? Sure, I'll come on in. Dr. Truman lets me watch TV sometimes. My folks never watch TV, but I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks too. I fix TVs, you know. Wow, cool. A TV scientist. I bet you make a lot of money. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time, and then the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never get to sleep, so I just went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost, but when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. They just left you? I don't think so. All our stuff was still there. Maybe they got lost somewhere. Let's go see what's on TV. I'm gonna go ahead and call that an interior, although that back wall is invisible, showing the forest outside. Dr. Truman and Conway are seated at a plastic table. Conway has one leg up on a chair so that Dr. Truman can examine it. And yeah, I think during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. How else can you pay for medical school? I got college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. I haven't seen what arthritis did to my grandmother, my best friend in high school destroyed his wrist building synthesizers. I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of Neuronol. Neurypnol. Neurypnol. I'm going to go with Neurypnol. Trademark. It's not so bad. So how about that leg? Tell me what happened exactly. Leg was crushed by fallen rocks. Crushing injury. Yeah, those can be pretty bad. Everything gets all compressed and there are a lot of little pieces to... You know what, never mind. Let's take a look. How bad could it be, right? We pull the scene out slightly to show Ezra and Shannon watching TV. What are they singing about? I'm singing about travel. Yeah, they're traveling and they want to go home. It's dark and raining and they don't know where to go, but they're not scared. You think they'll figure it out? I don't think so. Dr. Truman's gonna help your friend. He'll be okay. Zoom back into the table. But it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called Neurypnol, trademark. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have a normal conversation as the Neurypnol TM takes effect, and then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. The dialogue box is becoming increasingly wibbly. 1. Most of the rest of the scene is fading away in silhouette, leaving Conway alone at the table. I did not read that line in time, but it was about billing for this. This is the time when Dr. Truman decided to speak about billing. When Conway was under anesthesia, and I say didn't read it in time because now the dialogue box is just a jumble of letters. We zoom in, the angle dutches severely. So Dutch that it paints pictures of apples. End of Act 2. And our intermission, the entertainment. Let us play the entertainment. Oh, is this the one I think it is? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna pause it real quick because a lot of shit's gonna happen all at once, and I'm on purpose, and I'm not gonna be able to do it justice in the moment, I don't think. So what is happening in this scene is that there is a play happening. Uh, there, there is a set uh, where two actors are sitting at a bar. Uh, our point of view is a third actor silently sitting at a table some way away from them. What's happening is, in fact, two plays at once. We have our own script that we are meant to stick to, while the two people across the bar have their own conversation that I think we choose the dialogue for. I can't remember right now. I suppose we'll see as we go into it. If we turn around, we can see the folks behind us, the audience. The lights come up. Oh, the sandwich. Barfly sits alone at a table with two glasses, one empty.
It's too goddamn hot.
Right. So our things that we are meant to be doing is listed as Barfly. That is our character, while two other people will be having a conversation. Like I just said, I'm going to try to go between those, and it might get audibly confusing. And I apologize for that, but it's kind of supposed to be confusing. It's an experimental play happening in an experimental space. Um, we get into more details of why that is a little bit later.
Too goddamn hot.
It's cool in here.
Yeah.
Like Babylon outside.
Goddamn, you're right. Well, cool in here.
It's an oasis. I wonder how Ted's holding up. Barfly examines empty glass. Examines full glass.
AC. Down there, they all have it.
Well, sure, you're right. I've never been to Texas.
Oh, sure. They all have AC. Too cold almost. In July, even.
Barfly looks at ashtray, blows gently with pursed lips, observes. Ash configuration. He's got a hotel. Yeah, hotel life. That's living. Maybe too much. I mean, what's to stop him, really? Need some tall thing at the hotel bar? Nah. Ted's a good man. I know. He wouldn't run around. No, you're right. How about a beer? No beer today. Hard times whiskey. That all you got? Barfly coughs, wipes nose with sleeve, inspects sleeve at length.
That's good whiskey. Local.
Yeah? You take deliveries from him?
Yeah, sure.
You ever see one of them? The boys from Hard Times?
What?
I heard they're strange. Barfly remembers something trivial about the prior evening, looks up suddenly, looks left, looks right. Oh, there is also a jukebox with sound cues on it, pardon me. Sound 1, distant highway, I guess we'll keep on that.
Well, they work hard. They make a good whiskey. Who are we to judge?
Sure, who are we?
No one of consequence.
What's all this bread for?
Sandwiches. Rain's law.
Ha, the old ones went bad while you were on vacation? You have a good time while the sandwiches rotted?
Oh, you know me. I couldn't shut it off. 7 days on a beach and all I could think about was work. New kitchen, maybe hire a hostess.
A hostess? At the lower depths? Crazy.
No, it's not so crazy. I was in a bar down there in New Orleans. They had a hostess, some dive. She seats you and, I don't know, points out the specials. Could have specials every night in there.
Drink specials? Barfly skims newspaper article about cross-country travel by hot air balloon. Visualizes hot air balloon launch. Forgets.
You make cocktails? Nah, food specials. Monday night chicken, I don't know, grilled chicken, Caesar salad. Class it up. Bess would have liked it.
Here's the best.
Yeah, yeah. Let me grab a, here's the Bess. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman.
They drink in unison. How about that sod in the corner?
It's not bothering anybody.
Been here long?
As soon as I opened. Got started a bit earlier, I suspect.
On a bender, huh? Sleeping in a ditch or something? You don't think maybe Ted?
Nah. Ted's a good man. Honest, well liked.
He's liked, but
He's well liked. Sales is a good fit.
selling hammers. Can you believe it?
No, somebody has to.
Evelyn, sardonic. The hammers. They don't sell themselves. Harry, sardonic. Here, here. It's just hard. Ted on the road. Tough all over. What to do all day? Come here, I guess.
Yeah, sure. That's what I do.
Cheap drinks, conversation, and the entertainment.
Oh, sure.
What's tonight?
Oh, tonight it's Junebug.
I'll stay for that. I need some music. Get my mind off Ted. Something romantic. A love song from when the world was young. There was another piece to this that I had completely forgotten about, so we're gonna look back at these. Lem Doolittle's original script for A Reckoning has almost no explicit stage directions. From the author's essays and letters, we know Doolittle thought of the writer as an equal partner with the actors. The actors should have equal authority to write by acting into what Doolittle called the living script. Given the lack of stage directions and our own interest as a company in the foregrounding the physicality of theater, we made the bold decision to borrow the stage directions from his rarely performed pantomime A Barfly and fold them into the action of A Reckoning. We've always thought these two pieces as related, so it's been a very natural gesture to perform them simultaneously and on the same stage. James B. Carrington. There is also a review, which I'm going to go ahead and read in its entirety before we get back to the play part. We have a right to lie, said the dramatist Anne Tarnar Todd, but not about the heart of the matter. Obscure playwright Lem Doolittle seems to have made a project of this distinction in his play A Reckoning, originally written shortly before his mysterious disappearance several decades ago, and published posthumously in quotes. The play is a favorite among companies wishing to show their knowledge of local cultural history. How unexpected, then, to encounter a production that treats the script so irreverently. The student company has gone so far as to change the title of the play, and even add a new character, a silent, uncredited actor who pantomimes drunkenness with all the grace of a dog trying to escape from under a duvet. Still, this staging of the entertainment stays true to the heart of Doolittle's work. Perhaps that's all these students owe him. Billy Thurston, Adair County News. Back to The Reckoning, a love song from when the world was young. What time? Round 8, maybe. No, set them up slow, or I'll sleep right through it. The lights go down and come back up. We are now in Act 2 of the play within a video game. Okay, so I apparently do have the capability to do all of these at once. Not at once, but all of these. So let's look at the set to designer's notes and another review, and then we'll get back to the play part. I think that's going to be the easiest way to get all of this information in and still have it be parsable in literally any way. I suppose I could do it all at once, just clicking back and forth between stuff. And sitting with the idea, I suppose that's kind of the point, is that a a production is made up of a lot of things, right? It's foreground action and background action and behind the scenes commentary and behind the scenes decisions to make the thing that you see on stage work, and then also the audience's perception of it plays a part in the overall, in the way a production is sort of treated. And having all of these things going at once sort of is indicative of the chaos of putting on basically any artistic endeavor, but uh, also theater. Sorry, got lost in the meta. I'm coming back to what I was doing now. Let's look at the set designer's notes. Doolittle must have been an odd bird. Many playwrights, Tennessee Williams or Eugene O'Neill, spend as much energy on precise descriptions of the play's set as they do any of the dialogue. So my job is finding ways to be creative within constraints. But Doolittle only describes settings poetically. To be honest, I think he'd have preferred there wasn't a set at all. Well, here I am, building one anyway. Serves him right for disappearing all those years ago, the enigmatic wino. I don't mind a drunk, but I hate riddles. Lula Chamberlain. Oh, that is Lula. We can see her back there. That means I did that whole thing with the wrong voice, but that's okay. Wakefield stuns in Entertainment. The premiere at Buffalo Street Student Theater was a curiosity. Two obscure plays by a local author were simultaneously presented for the pleasure of a handful of baffled patrons. The result, an absorbing if unfocused drama about the ills of debt and dishonesty. Certainly the highlight is Sarah Wakefield's performance as Pearl Slade, the young woman who tries to rid herself of her parents' debts. She is a revelation. Sadly, her verve and imagination do little to salvage the tepid pantomime of the Barfly, a character who could perhaps have done with a few lines after all. Levi Tolbert, Kentucky Post. Barfly sits alone at a table with two glasses, one empty. Straightened shirt, checks pocket for currency, empty-handed, begins to calculate. Put it back on that weird dinosaur show, will you? Nah, those history programs don't make any sense. I prefer the nature programs. They think they can just say anything on TV. I don't believe there'd be a damn word in the Bible about dinosaurs or the Ark. Dinosaurs on the Ark, apologies. Been a long time since Sunday school for me. Do you go to church, though? Nah, not since Bess. It was her church, really. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman. They drink in unison. Barfly makes mental note of room's exits. Considers possibility of escape. Well, I'm curious to see where they're going with it. Oh, they got you now. I just think they're gonna run out of rope before long. Dinosaurs on the Ark. I prefer the nature programs. Yeah, so your vacation was good? Yeah, 7 days poolside. I thought you said it was a beach. Oh, sure. Nah, it was a pool. Was it a pool or a beach? Uh, maybe. I don't remember. Weird. Barfly inspects exit. Estimates places 2 exits. Barfly considers social effects of sudden exit. Weighs options. Fumbles in pocket. You think I'm making this up? Oh, no, a third person has entered the scene at the bar. Hi, Harry. Are the old folks here? Just me and Evelyn. All morning. Hi, Evelyn. And that sot in the corner. You're early, Pearl. Your parents don't usually roll in till this evening, 5 or 6. Everything all right? Oh, sure, thanks. We just have some stuff to talk about. Well, post up here and let's watch this weird dinosaur show. I'll stand you a drink. Barfly pretends to read, encounters troubling headline, bites lip, pretends to inspect newspaper photograph, recognizes neighbor pictured left, averts eyes. All Harry's pouring today is Hard Times whiskey. That all you got? Oh, they make a good whiskey. Sure, but, you know, the rumors? Oh, rumors are rumors. Put on my tab, Harry. You driving, Pearl? Oh, God, no. You know, they want almost 40 cents a gallon. Harry whistles, something I do not wish to do into the mic. I had the early shift, so I just walked over. In this heat? You still working over there at Ace Jewelry and Loan? Joe Harden proudly trading shortcuts for dignity 6 days a week since 1962. Eh, at least they have the piety to shut down on Sunday. With Joe, it's more likely a hangover. Harry, sardonic, can it be both? Barfly makes mental notes, checklist for planned exit, adjusts position, prepares to bolt. Well, I know you see more trade than I do. Must be slow over at the hardware store. You know, slow isn't the word. And now Ted's out, shilling for quality hammers to make up income. Have you ever considered quality hammers on your shelf? I made the switch recently and business has tripled. Of course, I'd love to have dinner with your lovely daughters. Evelyn. Hey, a man gets lonely out on the road. I know how it is. No. Harry, you've been traveling, right? Sure, yeah. Down in New Orleans, just taking a break. A vacation. Looking around for ideas. Barfly remembers half full drink. Pauses. Sighs. Relaxes shoulders. Tell her about the pool or the beach. Evelyn. Sounds nice. And the hostess. I may just cut you off. Evelyn looks dejected. Harry clears his throat. So, the pool? Or the beach? Yeah, Harry. Which was it? Well, it was a week of relaxation. Now I'm back. You still look stressed, if you don't mind me saying. Eh, he just looks like that. Sure, that's just how I look. I've never known you to leave town, Harry. I've never known you to leave this bar. Oh, no, I get out. You still drive that old truck? I don't know. I think they towed it eventually. The hell you say? That must have been years ago, Harry. How do you get around now? Um, I take the bus or I walk. You walk to New Orleans? Watch it, Evelyn. Evelyn looks dejected. I didn't mean nothing by it, Harry. Harry, did you really go to New Orleans? Now just where do you get? Now just where do you two get off? Sorry, forget it. Sure, she didn't mean nothing by it. We'll lay off you and get back to drinking. Gotta be ready for the entertainment. Oh, who's on tonight? Night it's Junebug. It works for me. Round 8, I think. I'll stick around. I could use some sad music. I came here to break some hearts. What's that? To dash dreams. What are you talking about? Gotta talk to my parents about their bar tab. I won't be paying for 'em anymore. Well, hang on now. No. It's time to cut the old folks loose and head west. Can't keep enabling them, you know? Debt's a debt now. Harry, I'm sorry. I know you got a vested interest, and I don't want to make a victim of you. They'll come up with it somehow, I'm sure. No, it's not that. The thing about debts is you never know when they'll be reckoned and called in. What's that mean? I'm not saying anything, but I know debt, Harry. I see it all day. It's all around me, like a thick gray fog. It's in the air I breathe. At the pawn shop, they have a new financial technology. I'm their ambassador. Did you know that? New technology? It's a new kind of debt, Evelyn. That's a mess. What do you mean a new kind of debt? You know what we do at the pawn shop? Secured loans. We don't buy used goods. We take personal property as collateral on a loan. And then if you don't pay your loan, we sell your stuff. Yeah, sure, I get that. Well, it works for people who couldn't get loans otherwise, I guess. And now Hardin has this new idea. He calls it a payday advance. But it's just a short-term, unsecured loan with a wicked interest rate. There's no filtering. Most who borrow can't keep up. And then he has this big pile of debts with big returns on paper. He can sell those debts to a bank. Who's borrowing like that? Who do you think? Would Joe put me in charge of it? The only dark-skinned clerk in the whole shop. You think so? I know it. Don't you see? I look just like you. You can trust me. But Joe knows they won't pay on time. There's no money in lending, but there's money in usury. Now that's in the Bible. I won't be a shill. I just have to save a bit more and then I go to California. I'll be a real clerk at a credit union or something. Something ethical. I just have to get rid of these old parasites first. Neither borrower nor lender be. Well, my tab is in good shape, I think. No, you're behind too. Not as bad as the Slades, but Harry, the only thing I owe you is a handshake and this whiskey you're about to pour me. Let's say this one's on me, Pearl. No, I'm good for it. For today, let's just say it's on me. You're awfully strict about cash for a guy who just got back from a vacation. Drink up, Evelyn. Maybe you better find some other chair to sink into so your debts don't get reckoned out from under you. I'm out for a bit. I'll be back later to disappoint a couple of old deadbeats. I'll stay for the entertainment. I won't throw you out, but just remember what I said. The lights go down. I drink my tea because that was a lot of dialogue all at once. Pearl exits. And we... Oh, there is a new couple of people over at the bar. Oh, these are Pearl's parents, presumably. We will get to the play portion of the play in a moment. Let's get over here to the dramaturge's notes. To set the play in present day, 1973, we needed to adjust the price of gas as discussed by Pearl, Evelyn, and Harry. We also made some adjustments to the description of Pearl's work. We left in a line about Rain's Law, which would have been archaic in Doolittle's time anyway. I guess the biggest changes we made, besides mashing the two Doolittle plays into one, was to the title. I thought we should rename it A Reckoning and a Barfly to mix the two titles and be really clear about where it came from. But Carrington liked the bleak irony of the entertainment. Joseph Wheattree. And the review, stiffly written but well acted. There aren't many characters in The Entertainment, now playing at Buffalo Street Student Theater, but director James B. Carrington has been able to give them all enough dimension to make them interesting. Edgar Foy's performance as dejected bartender Harry is convincing, but this is not a role into which an actor can project much power. The audience pities him without ever really knowing why. Indeed, despite the cast's well-rounded portrayals, sparks only fly once or twice. Zoe Hook, Louisville Times. Rosa. Management material. That's what he said. That's so. 11 years behind the supermarket till. You're damn right. Damn right. I have commitment and reliability. That's what he said. Management material. I bet they raised you to $3. I bet 4. The responsibility. You see Pearl today? Oh, she was working all day, I think. Usually doesn't work mornings. Slade women are all getting promoted. Barfly slumps alone at table. Barfly remembers, scowls at memory of unkind word. Remembers, considers retorts to perceived slights. Remembers arguments, forgets specifics. I think they just put her on another shift. What's the morning shift like at a pawn shop, you think? Black coffee and desperation. Let's celebrate. Harry, another round. We're celebrating 2 promotions in the family. Talk to Pearl today? She worked all day. She was here earlier, looking for you two. She'll be back. Why don't you just pace yourselves till you talk to her? We're celebrating. Pace yourselves or pay your bill. Why are you so stuck on a bill all of a sudden? You sunstruck? Sure, it's twice as bright when you got the ocean and the pool both reflecting at you. Evelyn. You catch that any alligators? Sure, it was gators everywhere. Swamp. Big old sandy swamp. With a pool and a hostess. What's that? Set him up, Harry. Junebug will be here any minute. We want to be receptive. Alright, but I keep track. There'll be a reckoning. You folks hear about the reckoning? Barfly scans forecast. Tries to remember day of week. Considers past or future thunderstorm. Scratches absently at table. Silently repeats prayer to stupor. This is the first I've heard. What's up, Harry? Short on your bills? Let the books get away from you? That's an ignorant thing to say. I've been doing my books for 10 years, keeping this place alive all on my own ever since Bess. I don't just let you run that tab up until you drink yourselves underground. Now, he didn't mean nothing by that, Harry. Yeah, Harry. You know I'm only joking. Sure, I know. I know you're joking. All right, let's drink. I better slow down. Hard times whiskey comes on strong. Don't want to end up like that boiled owl in the corner. I can't tell anymore. I hear they have some secret ingredients or a secret process or something. Some in the wood they age it in. Yeah, some strange in that wood. Drink up, Larry. Don't call me Larry. Sounds like an old man. All right, Silver Fox. Now you... I'll let it slide. Another? Well, I don't get paid until Friday, and I haven't seen Pearl all day. She can pick it up when she comes back. Don't count on it. The hell kind of thing to say that? The hell kind of thing to say is that? Our own daughter. Generosity is at limits. I don't know what she said, but the Slades are good for it. This family takes care of our own. Sure, we'll get it straightened out when she comes back. Better get here soon, or she'll miss the entertainment. Shouldn't Junebug be here now, Harry? Yeah. As you get working with artists, good entertainment, it's always late. This is pretty late, though. Let's stick around. We're celebrating. Sure. Yeah, not expecting a late night sentimental call, and if he does, let it ring. Philanderer. Last drink, Evelyn? One more, Harry. I just want to hear some music. Well, she better show up soon. The stage lights come down. Pearl enters and sits back at her place at the bar. Let's do the review, and then we'll do the writer's notes, and then back to the play. Entertainment bores at times. The conclusion of the entertainment is obscure modernism posing as tragedy. We can only presume that this is another of this company's experimental inventions into the original script, as it betrays the human drama so carefully directed over the prior three scenes. The Chamberlain set is unpretentious and realistic, with a handful of confident lighting cues. The dialogue has an easy facility for barroom banter, but a disconcerting habit of settling into familiar grooves. An uneven but decent production. Nathan Masters, Lexington Herald. You know they only have one Herald in Lexington? No one else there is allowed to be named Herald. I'm fine with that joke only being for me. Writer's notes. Many in the audience consider leaving. If anyone leaves, let them leave. The theater is not a prison. If anyone coughs, cough also. The theater is not a sick bed. We minister to the audience. We revere the pains of the audience. Lem Doolittle. Barfly slumps half asleep on table. Struggles to remember mental checklist. Drunkenly fumbles in pockets. Remembers. Places right hand on chin. Evelyn, drunk. I love this song. Pearl, sober. I've never heard it. It's a love song. It's a Valentine. Sure. Ever been in love? No. Me neither. Oh, there's Ted. Son of a bitch. Evelyn. You love Ted, right? He's a son of a bitch. Out on the road selling hammers and hammering shop girls. You know he isn't. I wish he would. You don't mean that. Sure. I don't mean that. He's a son of a bitch, but you have to stick by your family. Sometimes. If it kills you. Do you? Why? You just have to. Why? I love this song. What if they're better off without us? My folks could get better with money. Ted could, I don't know, meet someone new. He would. He's a good man. Would you? Groans. Barfly places left hand on leg, leans precariously into the table, closes eyes. All I want is to be free of parasites, keep my own money, pay my own debts. Oh, don't be a fool. Buy me a drink. What do you want? I want to run a hardware store with my dear husband. Evelyn, I want a whiskey. That all you want? And a love song. She could have said, sure. Pearl, you could have said something. I shouldn't have to say anything, Dad. Letting us just sit and soak up a debt. We're celebrating. Pearl, it's supposed to be a celebration. Don't you know the news? Larry, drop it. So, celebrate. I'm not stopping you, but I'm not paying for it. Your mother's going to be a manager. So, put a manager's salary on that tab. It's not. Sure, they said she's management material. What kind of material are you, Pearl? What kind of material are you, Pearl? Maybe, he said. He said maybe. I'm made of sweat and blood and beer, just like you raised me. Damn strange thing to say. Sure, my hands are cut up, but you're a loan clerk and your mother's a manager at a supermarket. Damn it, Lawrence, it's not settled. Not settled? O'Neill just handed you promotion. Why can't you celebrate? Rosa, what did he say to you? Remember what he said to you? He said, didn't he? He said, maybe, eventually. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually management material. Keep your chin up. Maybe eventually. Sooner or later, keep your chin up. How's that, Dad? Barfly opens eyes, scans table for landmarks, remembers, spits, glances down at newspaper, tries to be interested. No, you can still settle. It'll just take longer. I should look again. Just sit with me, Larry. Let's just wait for the music. Get away from the awfulness. Sure. We can celebrate. Sure. Slade women are moving up. Eventually. She's this late. She's not coming. Where's Junebug? Where's the entertainment? I said if she's this late, she always shows up. I got nothing better to do. You gonna settle up first? No, don't be a fool. Watch it. I'll buy you a drink. How about a water, Evelyn, and maybe call it a night? What time is it? I love this song. It's so relaxing. Like the sun by the pool on a beach full of gators. God damn it, Evelyn. Harry, language. What would Bess think? Good Christian woman. God damn it, who cares if I did or didn't go to New Orleans? She didn't mean anything by it. Maybe I just sat here, alone, in the dark. Would you like that, Evelyn? Is that what you want to hear? Watching nature programs in the dark. Just me, and the deer, and the gators, and the goddamn dinosaurs. Harry's Ark, Evelyn, 2 by 2, out of the flood and into the poorhouse. She's just drunk. All on my dime. There's gonna be a reckoning, all of you. Just stick around, you'll see. Barfly sighs, shuffles, surrenders. What are you talking about, Harry? What reckoning? I want to hear about another love song. Where's Junebug? I hope she never shows up. I can't pay her and the money's run out. What's that? It's gone. Money's all gone. I let you sponges soak up so many free drinks, and now I can't even stock the whiskey without striking a deal. No more whiskey? Harry, what kind of deal? Doesn't matter. You can't blame us. Harry, we're just a little short from time to time. Sure. You just leave, Pearl. Just trust me. Pearl, worried. Okay. I'm leaving. Are you sure? I'm sure. You don't deserve this. All I want is a love song and a whiskey. You'll have plenty of time for whiskey. I just want to be left alone. That man is like a straitjacket. I know, Evelyn. If only meet some tall young thing on the road. I know. 11 years behind a supermarket till. Keep your chin up, Rosa. Eventually, maybe, eventually. Now you should all clear out. Where would we go? Just let us wait. Let us wait for Junebug. We're good for it. We just want to have a few drinks, see the entertainment, and then we'll go home. You don't understand. Sure, we know you're struggling. We're all struggling. Harry, you said you had a deal, right? God damn it, you don't understand me. Harry, language. What's to understand? We'll settle our debt soon. Rose is in line for this promotion. All they want is debt. They feed on it. They put it in the whiskey. What? The hell are you saying? They'll be here soon. The boy from Hard Times. And there'll be a reckoning. Harry, our debt's not to the distillery. It is now. I traded it. Sold it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The lights go down, and behind us, a wireframe skeleton of a person glowing yellow holding a ledger appears. This is where we will be ending the stream. I did go a little bit over. I'd forgotten how long that was. Kicks. I like it so much. There's a bit that I sort of didn't mention for people who maybe were uh, who could not see the stream. Uh, Whenever the house lights go down, the array of bottles on the counter at the bar are shown in silhouette and they look like gravestones, which is an incredible touch. We're not gonna do Act 3 right now. We'll come back for that. That's gonna be the stream for right now. Thank you to anyone watching this on the VOD. Hope you're having a good day or good evening, wherever it is, where you are. Is there anything I want to say? No, not really. From September of the Free Association. Next stream's gonna be, what's today? Friday? Next stream's gonna be Tuesday, where we'll get into Act 3, which will be a whole fucking thing. Because I sort of remember the story beats of Act 3 in a way I kind of didn't remember these. I am very excited. What's the... I feel like there's something I should tell you, but I don't know what it is. There's a thing that wants to trip off my tongue, but I don't have it loaded. I'll figure it out. But not right now. I'm just gonna get off here and do some little bit of cleanup around the house and then go to bed. Till next time, I love you. I want you to stay safe. Find something to do and do it. See you later.